Well,
said Buster, brushing the last few crumbs off his lap.
that was like 7 of our reality programmes all stuck together. The jeopardy, the contrasts, the huge catering bill.
Buster was thoughtful for a moment and then asked,
What happened to them?
This was a really good sign, I thought. Could it be that this Belobrat was learning to think about people other than himself? Well, I said, not a lot as yet. This only happened a few years ago, and Mars is still rebuilding itself after its third destruction in 3 centuries. But as the head of the biggest intergalactic dating service, I kind of have a hunch about these things.
I'm sorry about that.
Bubbled Buster.
I should think every human has a hunch with legs like those.
And I think they'll last, depending, of course, on what other catastrophes the universe throws at them. It can be like that sometimes. That's the thing about love. You can both have a destination in mind, but you don't really know where it's taking you until you get there. Buster thought about this for a moment.
Interesting,
he said.
I never realised love was such a fascinating, wide-ranging concept. I thought it was just something people did to get ratings. I'm itching to go back and make a new TV series now, a proper one this time, without any gimmicks, just following real couples in real time, so that audiences can get to know and identify with them and root for them. A no-holds-barred show displaying just how great, but also how messy and frustrating love can be, and how many outside factors can impact it.
Wow, I said, shaking him by his 3 hands. That sounds fabulous. I would totally watch that. I think you actually learned something.
Plus some killer robot argibraffe gladiators, of course,
added Buster. Oh, I said. Buster looked at my face and grinned.
Just kidding,
he said, and we both laughed. I think you've got it, I smiled. Of course, with a subject like love, nobody holds all the answers, but you probably know as much as me now, and you're even making jokes. This is good.
Well,
said Buster,
I think I've learnt all I need to know, and I've taken up too much of your precious time already. Here is your consultation fee. I think you earned it. There'll be more by the time my show's on the air too.
And he produced a cheque with an astronomical amount of figures on it. That's amazing, I said, overwhelmed, and trying not to cry. It was more money than any human ever got to see in one lifetime. Well, except for a few selfish millionaires orbiting above the madness off orbit in their taxless space rockets, and they didn't count. Not least because I wasn't convinced most of them were actually human. This is going to keep intergalactic dating open for years to come, I said. Maybe centuries even. We could do so much good for so many couples with this money and keep subscription costs to a minimum. Even poor species deserve to be able to afford love after all. Thank you so much. I flung my arms round a smiling Buster.
You're welcome,
he said.
You were a good teacher.
You're a good pupil too, I said, wiping away a tear. In the end.
There's just one more question I have,
said Buster. Yes, I replied. Anything.
I think you're really super, Nova,
said Buster.
Would you like to have dinner with me tonight? On a date? My treat. It's only just past Midhaven Day after all. There's still time to celebrate.
I smiled contentedly. Was this my moment of love at last, after all those years helping other aliens connect and find each other? At last I had an unlikely and curious tale of my own to tell people when they asked me about my love life, instead of just sitting there sadly and telling people I hadn't been blessed with such happiness yet. I would like that, I said. Thanks, Buster.
Oh.
The Belobrat blushed, the red and roulet shades passing across his 3 heads.
You're welcome. Oh, and just one more thing.
Buster picked up a tiny camera that had been hidden in a pair of his sunglasses.
We're going to cut to an advert break now, but we'll be back on Sexy Lightyear's Love Planet Undateable with confidential undercover backstage extra to tell you all about true authentic love right after these messages from my sponsors.
Buster held up all the food and drink he'd been consuming in my offices up to his camera and winked. I was flabbergasted. You mean all this that I've been telling you today? This has all been broadcast? It was all a fake for some show you were doing?
Hey, lady,
smiled Buster.
It was broadcast gold. All's fair in love and TV after all. Oh, and I'd still like that date tonight too. Would you like a camera of your own?
I already have one, bozo. You aren't stealing my ratings. Angrily, I slapped him on all 3 faces and Buster slumped to the floor. Making sure to get a close-up, I whipped out that very camera that had been secretly recording everything for my own show. And that, I said to my viewers, pointing to Buster looking shocked on the floor, is everything you shouldn't do if you want to find true love. And if I'm not mistaken, that slap will be a true ratings winner. I checked the viewing figures for my online live broadcast. They were really shooting up. Great. This will get the moolah rolling. There will be more from me, your favourite human influencer, on my authentic True Love podcast, the most true to love show on the airwaves, after these advertisements featuring the latest must-have buys from Earth. Oh, and don't forget to buy our latest merchandise, folks. True love doesn't come for free, so buy while you can.